It is week number 9 of the high school football season, and tonight, the Madison Blue Streaks made the trek down south to Chardon to take on your Hilltoppers. How you doing, everyone? Matt Jaworski, Jamie Ward with you. Jamie, this is a huge game tonight for the Hilltoppers, a win, and they position themselves to be playing in week 11.
Absolutely, and you don't want to overlook Madison. Chardon already knows that, but this is a team that, with their 5 losses, has played against the likes of Perry, undefeated, Mayfield, undefeated, Kenston, Geneva, who's 7-1. So Madison's going to give this team a game, we think. The coaches already know that. So given what they did last week against South, and I think, Matt, you would agree that was their best game of the year.
Hands down it was. You look at what this Madison team does, and they like to run the football. The good news for Chardon is their defense has been stout the last couple of weeks, allowing less than 100 combined yards to both South and Kenston. So, Jamie, if the Hilltoppers win tonight, it's going to start on the defensive end.
Absolutely. It's going to be fun, and this is a sort of a natural rivalry as well.
With that, we're going to pause, take a timeout as we get you set for Senior Night festivities. And when we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff for you of this one here on GTV.
Good evening and welcome to the 2019 Chardon High School Football Senior Parent Night. Tonight we'll be recognized senior football players, cheerleaders, trainers, along with their parents, and an educator each has identified as his or her most influential. First, we would like to commend and thank our seniors for their dedication, their hard work, and their many contributions to the Chardon football and cheer program, as well as their sportsmanship and the positive example they have set for our youngsters. Parental participation is also crucial to the success of any athletic program. The sacrifices our parents have made are greatly appreciated by the players and coaches alike. We appreciate all the hours of driving to practices and games over the years, your support of our athletes, win or lose, the spectacular pregame dinners, and the fundraising, and all you have done for our athletes. So thanks to all of you, cheerleaders, players, athletic trainers, parents, for making Chardon football and Chardon cheerleading the programs that they are. And now let's recognize our seniors and an educator each senior has selected who has made a positive impact during their time in the Chardon local school system. We will begin with our senior cheerleaders, presented in alphabetical order. Please welcome senior Grace Bernot. Grace is escorted by her parents, Stacy and Tim Bernot. Grace would like to recognize Mrs. Jeannie Clark as her most influential teacher. After graduation, Grace plans to attend Ohio University or the University of Cincinnati and wants to major in nursing. Grace would also like to thank her family and friends for their support and love, and thank Mrs. Clark for being her most influential teacher. Senior Grace Bernot. Please welcome senior Brittany Ferraro. Brittany's escorted by her parents, Stephanie Martinez and Aaron Ferraro. Brittany would like to recognize Mr. Chad Morawski as her most influential teacher. After high school, Brittany plans to earn her cosmetology license and pursue a career as a professional hairstylist. Senior Brittany Ferraro. Please welcome senior Haley Richard. Escorted by her parents, Melissa and Jeff Richard. Haley would like to recognize Auburn Career Center cosmetology instructor, Ms. Jennifer Peeler, as her most influential teacher. Haley will be graduating from Auburn in May with a cosmetology license and will be starting her career as a hairstylist at Jennifer and Company. Senior Haley Richard. And now we will introduce our 2019 student Hilltopper football trainers. Please welcome senior Elise Shawlett. Escorted by her parents, Heather Shawlett and Mark Shawlett, Elise would like to recognize Mr. Joe Ritchie as her most influential teacher. After high school, Elise plans to attend Cleveland State University to pursue a career in nursing. Senior Elise Shawlett. Please welcome Senior Bridget Morgan. Escorted by her parents, Ann and Pat Morgan. Bridget would like to recognize Mrs. Karen Ritchie as her most influential teacher. After high school, Bridget plans to attend a four-year college to study a field related to sports medicine. And now we will introduce the 2019 Senior Hilltopper football players in order of jersey. Please welcome seniors DJ Bowman and Cody Peterson. Escorted by their parents, Holly and Sean Peterson. DJ would like to recognize Mrs. Ellen Clark as his most influential teacher. After high school, DJ is currently undecided on his plans. DJ is also escorted by his mother, Julie Maddox. Cody would like to recognize Mr. Chad Mirowski as his most influential teacher. After high school, Cody plans to attend college and play lacrosse and is currently undecided on a college and a major. Seniors DJ Bowman and Cody Peterson. Please welcome senior John Dinko, escorted by his parents, Asha and Dan Dinko. John would like to recognize Senora Carrie Korenke as his most influential teacher. After high school, John plans to pursue a degree in finance and to continue his football career and is currently undecided on a college. Senior John Dinko. Please welcome senior Max Vuyaclia, escorted by his parents, Kimberly and Rob Vuyaclia. Max would like to recognize Mr. Chad Mirowski as his most influential teacher. Upon graduation, Max plans to attend a four-year university but is undecided on his major at this time. Senior Max Vuyaclia. Please welcome senior Noah Keeney, escorted by his parents, Kristen and Kevin Keeney. Noah would like to recognize Mr. Chad Mirowski as his most influential teacher. After graduation, Noah plans to study sports broadcasting or sports analysis and is currently undecided on a college. Senior Noah Keeney. Please welcome senior Zach Morrison, escorted by his parents, Desiree Morrison and Rick Morrison. Zach would like to recognize Mr. Joe Ritchie as his most influential teacher. After high school, Zach wants to pursue a career in the medical field and plans to own a gym one day along with his own medical practice. He is currently undecided on a college. Senior Zach Morrison. Please welcome senior Keaton Ziegenfuss, escorted by his parents, Dina and Tim Ziegenfuss. Keaton would like to recognize Mr. Chad Mirowski as his most influential teacher. After high school, Keaton would like to attend Harvard and major in exercise physiology or biochemistry, biochemical engineering, and is considering continuing his college football career. Senior Keaton Ziegenfuss. Please welcome senior Lucas Semler, escorted by his parents, Jamie and Tim Semler. Lucas would like to recognize Mr. Ron Cole as his most influential teacher. After high school, Lucas plans to attend a four-year college, and after earning his degree, plans to join the Marines. Senior Lucas Semler. Please welcome senior Joey Trevisano, escorted by his parents, Susan and Rob DeRue and John Trevisano. Joey would like to recognize Mr. Chad Morawski as his most influential teacher. After high school, Joey is undecided on a college and a major, but plans to continue his baseball career at the collegiate level. Senior Joey Trevisano. Please welcome senior Chris Carter, escorted by his parents, Cheryl and Chris Carter. Chris would like to recognize Mr. Joe Ritchie as his most influential teacher. After graduation, Chris plans to major in chemical engineering and is currently undecided on a college. Senior Chris Carter. Please welcome senior Eddie Buzagani, escorted by his parents, Joni and Tom Buzagani. Eddie would like to recognize Mr. Chad Morawski as his most influential teacher. Upon graduation, Eddie plans to attend Lakeland Community College to study welding. Senior Eddie Buzagani. Please welcome senior Dylan Thomas, escorted by his parents, Tricia and Gary Thomas. Dylan would like to recognize Mrs. Holly Mahalik as his most influential teacher. After high school, Dylan plans to major in civil engineering and is currently undecided on a college. Senior Dylan Thomas. Please welcome senior Thomas Fowle, escorted by his parents, Joyce and David Fowle. Thomas would like to recognize Mr. Dan Dinko as his most influential teacher. Upon graduation, Thomas plans to attend college to pursue a career in engineering. Senior Thomas Fowle. Please welcome senior Jonah Zeiger, escorted by his parents, Allison and Scott Zeiger. Jonah would like to recognize Senora Carrie Karenke as his most influential teacher. After high school, Jonah plans to attend Miami University to major in finance and minor in Spanish. Senior Jonah Zeiger. Please welcome senior Marcus Chauby, escorted by his parents, Jen and Mike Chauby. Marcus would like to recognize Mr. Rob Meisen as his most influential teacher. After high school, Marcus plans to further his education at either Bowling Green State University or Ohio University. Senior Marcus Chauby. Please welcome senior TJ Finger, escorted by his father, Terry Finger. TJ would like to recognize Mr. Ron Cole as his most influential teacher. Upon graduation, TJ plans to attend Miami University of Ohio or The Ohio State University to pursue a business degree. Senior TJ Finger. Please welcome senior Jarrett Hall, escorted by his parents, Angela Hall and John Hall. Jarrett would like to recognize Coach Frank Hall as his most influential teacher. After high school, Jarrett plans to continue his wrestling career and education at John Carroll University and plans to study sports medicine, physical therapy, and wants to become a physical therapist. Senior Jarrett Hall. Please welcome senior Joe Niederst, escorted by his parents, Laura and Joseph Niederst. Joe would like to recognize Ms. Jody Tagliaferri as his most influential teacher. After high school, Joe plans to attend a community college and is currently undecided on his career path. Senior Joe Niederst. Please welcome senior Josh Kurntz, escorted by his parents, Jen and Greg Kurntz. Josh would like to recognize Mr. Al Herner as his most influential teacher. After high school, Josh plans to attend the University of Akron to study business. Senior Josh Kurntz. Ladies and gentlemen, please join together for one more well-deserved round of applause for the 2019-20 Chardon High School football and cheerleading seniors and parents. Thank you, seniors. We wish you the best in all that you do.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Mark Baer and Michelle Watson, Top Red and Major Ed advisors Debbie Staple and Caitlin Sanders, we proudly present the 2019 edition of the Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. Led on the field tonight by Drum Major Anna Gertzner with Head Major Ed Grace Large and Topper Ed co-captains Hallie Parrish and Louisa Petrowski. We would like to thank Heidi Baer and Rhonda Dwyer for their countless hours of volunteering as uniform parents, along with the many other parent volunteers making sure our Hilltoppers look their best, as well as the great parents who volunteer for snack parents and chaperone duties. You are greatly appreciated. Thanks to all others who have helped us bring to you the best band in Northeast Ohio. Now, will you please rise and remove your caps to honor America with the playing of our national anthem, and please remain standing for the playing of the Chardon High School alma mater and a special feature tonight, Senior Fadeaway. Thank you for a great 4 years in the Chardon High School Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 Chardon Hilltoppers.
Final regular season home game of the year. Matt Jaworski, Jamie Ward with you here on GTV. Jamie, Hilltoppers coming out, and senior night, a lot of emotions to start this one.
Absolutely. Carrying out the first one out the tunnel, DJ Bowman, and Matt, last week, sort of a breakout game for him in so many ways. He's been a part of this team significantly for the last 2 seasons, but injuries have hampered him a little bit. Last week, he really established himself, and so it's no surprise that Mitch Hewitt lets him carry the pickaxe out onto the field. And really, when you look at this Chardon team, Matt, it seems like they're peaking at the right time.
Jamie, it's a great point. I want to go back to DJ Bowman real quick. The only thing that surprised me about his performance last week, when it was all set and done, I would have had put money down that the young man would have had over 100 yards rushing in the game, but he came up 11 yards shy, had 89 yards rushing, caught the big touchdown pass. Certainly a career game for him, and he's looking to add on to that tonight. His presence in the backfield has made a difference this year for Chardon because he has that game-breaking speed.
And the thing that really jumps off the stat sheet was the 4 touchdowns. I mean, you know, you're right about the yardage. We haven't seen Chardon necessarily rack up some really big plays on the ground. Still probably to come. We know how this wing T offense works. But between Bowman and Pettyjohn, and then, of course, our quarterback in Trevisano, this running game seems to be finding its way at the right time, and the offensive line deserves a lot of credit for that.
Well, indeed, they are. Pettyjohn right now, the only back that's over 500 yards. He has 504 entering this game. And, you know, for a Hilltoppers team, Jamie, to have only one player over 500 yards here in Week 9, you know, it's an interesting stat considering that they're, you know, at this point still contending for a playoff spot, contending for a league championship game, depending on what the outcome of the eventual Kenston and Mayfield game is.
Matt, the Hilltoppers lost the toss, and Madison elected to defer. So Chardon's going to start with the football first, fielding in the south end zone, right by that very familiar King Cone truck, which, I don't know, it's about 50 degrees. I'd go get my ice cream now.
Yeah. You know, maybe from King Cone to King Chili later on.
Oh.
Ground ball kick. Toppers will take it near the 20, across the 35, and not much more there. Is Chardon set to take over on offense. And Jamie, young man playing the QB position, Joey Trevisano coming out. And Trevisano has made a difference since he's been the QB here. Trevisano, of course, a senior, 5'10", 180, but he's healthy, he can run the football very well, and he can throw it pretty good too.
In many ways, depending on how you look at it, sort of a 4th-string quarterback. That's not exactly fair to him, but didn't expect to see him here.
Handed the ball off left side, and Hilltoppers pick up maybe a yard or so on the ground. You look at the offensive line. TJ Finger, Nick Fay, Dylan Friend, Jarrett Hall, Jesse DiCepeda going left to right, and those guys have played very well over the last couple of weeks.
I just want to go back to Trevisano for a second, because the starting quarterback, Max Vuaclia, he's hurt to start the season. The backup, maybe it's Drew Fetchick, he's hurt. Sulka's also banged up, and so that's how Trevisano steps into this role, which he's now earned back.
Trevisano keeping it that time, running left side, picking up a few more yards on the ground. They'll bring up 3rd down and about 5 or 6.
Trevisano, Matt, throws a baseball left-handed in center field, throws a football right-handed. Very, very interesting young man. And, of course, coaches will tell you he's the best athlete on the team, and he's also probably maybe the best defender on the team as well.
You know, it's amazing. The young man can throw with both left and right. I can barely use a fork with my left hand. Toppers facing a 3rd down and 5 from the 40. They come set.
Uh-oh.
Trevisano going to hand it off left side, 45, 50. Pettyjohn to the 40, 35, and pushed out of bounds near the 30-yard line as he took one of the cameramen down.
Pettyjohn last week, man, 86 yards on the ground, was right with Bowman, didn't find the end zone. But the thing about Pettyjohn is that he also is peaking at the right time. This team didn't necessarily have a halfback that we've seen in the past, like last season, John McKnight. Pettyjohn is stepping into that role.
Well, he is, and it's also that he's had more success when they've begun to run more counter plays in this offense as well. Trevisano going to hand it off to Bowman. Bowman met at the line of scrimmage and dropped back. Very little gain on that play. You look at the running backs that we're going to see tonight for the Hilltoppers. DJ Bowman, Cade McDivitt, James Pettyjohn, and Evan Ash going to get some carries as well.
The one thing they always say about Madison, these are big young men, right? And so the Blue Streaks, you saw there that defensive line, and you can see them if you're watching this game. They've got some big young guys, and so the line of scrimmage will be a battle.
Well, flags come out, wave that play off. Hilltoppers were plagued by penalties last week. They had just a number, Jamie, unfortunately, of illegal procedure penalties called on them. And a lot of it actually came about when the Hilltoppers had too many men in motion.
This is a traditional wing tee offense where typically someone is always in motion and you're not sure which side they're going to come from.
Second down and 16 now for Chardon. Ball placed on the 36-yard line. Ash goes in motion, will line up on the left side, and now the Hilltoppers with 9:22 to go in the first, forced to burn a timeout.
Coach Mitch Hewitt very unhappy there, Matt. Well, hey, we could not bring you tonight's game, both replay and if you're listening live at home, without our funding communities. And as always, we want to thank those who are both funding and not funding tonight's game, all of them together, and they are the City of Chardon, Chardon Township, Munson Township, Middlefield Village, and Burton Village. Thanks again for supporting GTV. We are in our 24th year. Amazing to think. And it is your cable bill that pays for us to bring you this tonight. Mitch Hewitt, very upset there, Matt. And like you had just mentioned, you just said that last week there were some illegal procedure penalties, and it was clear the offense was a little lost, and Mitch had to take a timeout.
Yeah, you hate to burn a timeout here. You're first, less than 3 minutes into this one. Hilltoppers will come out second down and 16 from the 36. Ooh. They're going to give it to Bowman. Bowman looking to go left side. No, was met by the Blue Streaks. That time it was Dominic Zirkle who made the stop, pushed them back.
Interesting play call. That was a draw and a counter at the same time, but not successful. And once again, that Madison defensive line pushing the line of scrimmage backward.
Toppers credited with a gain of 2 on that play. Will be third down and 14. Jamie, unfortunately, a kick here out of the range of Keaton Ziegenfuss. So they need to get a few more yards to get
or
to
is
Keaton.
it?
You're looking at about 50. I don't know, on a cold night. Ash goes in motion, going to be a blocking back. Trevisano dropping back to pass, looking to throw a left side. Ball is hit, and it is picked off at the 30-yard line.
That's Braden Johnston. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it fell right into Johnston's hands. But let's see what the officials, they want to meet. And there's also a flag, so. Where the flag is lying, it tells us that the penalty will be declined. But our officials tonight, Matt, they're from Trumbull County.
All the way from Trumbull.
In their 19th season working together, doing high school football. You know, our public address announcer, Al Herner, also a teacher in the high school, he is from Southington, which is in Trumbull County. And now look, the penalty is roughing the passer against Madison.
Wow.
It takes the interception away.
Indeed it does, and for the Hilltoppers, that's a huge break. It's an automatic first down. So Chardon.
Wow.
Will have the ball first down and 10 from the, I think that's the 19 they just put it on.
You know, Tim Wills, the head coach from Madison, he comes into a tough place to play, and they make the first major mistake of the night.
Hilltoppers, new life. Bowman got crushed. That was Johnston.
That was the same guy whose interception was taken away.
He might have been a little angry.
You know, when you hear the crowd, and of course, as always, we have a sellout crowd, if you will, and which means that most of the seats are full here at Memorial Field, but when you hear them all go, ooh, you know it was a big hit.
Yeah. Hilltoppers come to the line, 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. No score, opening drive for Chardon. Second down and 9 from the 18. Trevisano fakes it, goes up the middle, and Trevisano across the 15. And I think they're going to say forward progress out to about the 13.
The official looked over at the line judge. It looks like everything's okay.
Ball officially spotted on the 14-yard line, bringing up 3rd down and 4 for the Hilltoppers. Give us the Pettyjohn left side, makes a nice cut. Pettyjohn 5, spun around and stopped just shy of the goal line.
That was Alex Dragus, the quarterback, who made the tackle. We'll probably talk about him a lot tonight from Madison, but you're right, Matt. That cut that Pettyjohn made, incredible field vision.
I don't know, how often do you do a game where there's 2 quarterbacks that play both ways?
In programs like this, not very often.
And you talk about the Chardon QB, Joey Trevisano, a young man who plays 110, 120 snaps a game. Well-conditioned athlete. Trevisano under center, 3 guys behind him. Trying to draw Madison off sides. Who jumped first is the question. Chardon procedure call against Chardon. Hilltoppers will be backed up 5 yards, making it 1st and goal from the 6. Well, Jamie, I guess the good news is it gives Chardon a little bit more room to operate down there, but boy, I'd rather be at the 1 than the 6.
Right, no good news.
Pettyjohn looking to go right side, bouncing around, and he is stopped for a big loss.
That's a very big loss, and now you compound the penalty with a loss of more than 5, maybe about 6. So Hilltoppers just went from 1st and goal on the Madison 1 to 2nd and goal on the, what are they going to say?
Madison 13.
The 13. Certainly changes things. And Mitch Hewitt again, headset off. How would I describe him? Sort of incredulous, right?
That's a big word.
It's medium.
And
there's another penalty.
No, timeout Madison.
Wow. I think Chardon was fortunate there. And so, Matt, 24th year here on GTV. Of course, we started in 1996, Berkshire Cardinal Volleyball, but as we wind down here our fall sports season, and we hope to bring you a playoff game, of course, but the rest of our season is finished. We should let you know that we've got 2 candidates nights coming up. One is going to be from the Library Admin Center and the other from Chardon's Heritage House, and those can be seen on GTV channel 1020. Election Day is November 5th. And as always, you're going to be able to hear Week 10 at Eastlake North with Matt Jaworski live. We'll see what that weather looks like, Matt. They're calling for snow later in the week, so you may just want to bundle up, stay home, and listen to Matt on GTV.
Well, myself, Tim O'Brien will be doing it. Tim, might as well just walk there from Captain Stadium. That is a beautiful stadium, Nick Carter Stadium.
Yeah.
A lot of work went into making that a very fine facility. Ash goes in motion, gets the call around the left side, 10-5, toward the end zone. Stopped shy, but a flag comes out around the 13. And boy, oh boy, the indication is it's against the Hilltoppers, and this could be a big one. Jamie, a holding penalty called against the Hilltoppers. That is the 4th penalty on this drive against Chardon. We'll back them up to the 23.
This started as a 1st and goal from the 1. And once again, Mitch Hewitt without a headset, arms crossed. And he knows, everyone knows that these are the types of plays that decide games.
Now, Mitch and I have talked about holding penalties throughout the years, and the one thing he says is the way that Chardon coaches their kids, when they look at it at film, a lot of times the holding penalties really shouldn't have been called. The problem is it's perception of the officials. Topper's going to go to the air. Trevisano looking to throw over the middle. He is picked off near the 3-yard line. Across the 15, 20, 25, and out near the 30. I think that was Noah Tweedy, the defensive back, and now a late flag.
There were 2 flags already thrown and a late, so they've got at least 2 penalties here. The interception will stand, though, because all the flags were thrown after the interception. So,
well, for the Hilltoppers, that, Jamie, is a disappointing drive.
Chardon is not at their strength when they need to throw the ball like that. And I mean, boy, 1st and goal, Matt. That's a Trevisano keeper.
He didn't even get the chance.
Didn't get the chance.
Topper's defense is coming out on the field as we await the call from the officials. They are still huddling there over near the 30-yard line. Let's see what they're going to call here.
Our lead referee today, Matt, is Ron Book. And he has had to, you know, officials, they actually don't want to throw flags.
So there was a personal foul called, and it's going to move the ball back to the Madison 24-yard line. That's where the Blue Streaks will take over.
First time we've seen Madison's offense tonight.
So Dragus looking to throw, has some time stepping up in the pocket. Dragus going to take it right side, and he's brought down just past the line of scrimmage. So Dragus leads the Blue Streak offense. He is a man who has gained about 1,200 yards as the Hilltoppers, with 4:51 to go in the first quarter, will burn their second timeout.
Well, Matt, this is a defense that they just had 1 penalty last week. So you did talk about penalties, but the defense wasn't part of that problem. This is a defense that has allowed just 55 rushing yards per game. And I mean, we are in week 9 with a schedule that was kind of loaded up. So 13 points per game. Kind of incredible.
Well,
and it's become a strength.
When you think about it, the likes of Jalen Anderson, Jack Porter,
absolutely,
and none of those guys crossed the 100 plateau. As a matter of fact, only one team this year has rushed for over 100 yards against the Hilltoppers, and that was Mayfield, who turned out 105 yards against the Hilltoppers defense.
Well, and of course, Brian Landes, the defensive coordinator, deserves a lot of credit, as well as one of the defensive coaches, who is Bob Francis, sorry.
Man going in motion. They're going to hand the ball off, and nothing going there. That was, I believe, Austin McCourt. It was McCourt who carried the ball.
And you know what? Rob Vuaclia, he's the large man in white who's wearing 2 gloves. He's the one who signals in the defense. You know, because Coach Vuaclia is not on the roster, I don't know how tall he is or how much he weighs, but I'll bet you the dude's 6'4", 215.
Yeah. Dragus going to step up in the pocket, looking at the field, feeling some pressure from behind him. Across the 30, Dragus 35, first down, midfield 40, tripped up near the 45-yard line. Wow, he had the potential. It was Kevin Doyle who came from behind and tripped him up.
The thing about Alex Dragus is that he is going to be the engine of this offense. I mean, he's a senior, he's experienced, he's been starting for years, and we just saw what he's capable of.
Dragus has now over 500 rushing yards on the year. Wave that play off. There's some more flags. This one going to be a procedure call against Madison, so back them up 5 yards. Jamie, Hilltoppers enter this game undefeated at home, 5-0 entering this game tonight. They have played very well at home, and they've been pretty good on the road. They've lost to two teams that have combined one loss, and those both have come on the road. Perry and Mayfield. Looking to throw over the middle, incomplete. Dragus that time was shooting for Cole Tanner, but couldn't connect with him.
Well, and like I said, Matt, with the Madison team, though, as well, 4 of those 5 losses have come to teams that are 30-2. So the only team that Madison lost to was Riverside, that isn't either 8-0 or 7-1. So they're just sort of a sneaky Blue Streaks team, and that 3-5 record, I think, is a little misleading.
Now Madison mathematically still alive in the computer point system, but highly unlikely that they will make it. Dragus going to throw it out left side, caught 40, 45, and out of bounds shy of midfield. That was Brad McKeon who made the catch. McKeon picks up some decent yards, gets to about the 48-yard line, where we'll bring up 3rd down.
Keep your eye on John Dinko for the Hilltoppers, number 2. He's a defensive end who can sort of change the game.
Dragus from the gun, one man to his left, that's McCourt. Hilltoppers pointing at Madison. Madison now pointing back toward Chardon. Who are the officials going to believe? They're going to believe Chardon.
Themselves.
Good answer, actually, good answer.
That was actually the first flag came from our umpire tonight. That's Brian Shar. And Rob Caven, Bobby Starks, and Brian Workman are the other 3 officials. That's our crew tonight. Again, working together for 19 seasons. That's the thing. These officials get paid very little money, but they love the game.
Now, a labor of love, and it's a shame that there aren't more officials out there. Dragus looking to throw left side, pump fake now, gonna flush out right side, feeling some pressure, puts the ball up in the air, coming back and making the 1st down catch. Believe that was Tanner.
That was one heck of a play by Madison. That's, you know, what do you call that? That's the fire drill. The play is completely broken. And so now, Dragus keeps it alive. Tanner comes back for the football. And those are back-breaking plays for the defense.
1st and 10 Blue Streaks from the Topper 41. And who moved this time? Madison again. Jamie, this is just unbelievable. We have, and I've lost track of how many illegal procedure penalties there have been to this point in the game, but the answer is way too many.
Yeah, especially for week 9 with what, I mean, how long has Wills been there?
Well, Coach Willis has been there for, it's got to be 20-some years now.
Yeah, incredible. This is the 9th season for Mitch Hewitt. So.
And Dragus has been the QB all year long. Gonna hand it off McCourt at the line, met stuffed. Gain of maybe 2 yards as he fell forward. Ton of black jerseys there. Pick your choice.
Austin McCourt, listed at 5'5", Matt. 155 pounds.
You know, the small guys, a low center of gravity, sometimes it's just tough to tackle them because there's less to grab.
Used to call that, remember those scat backs?
Yeah. I forgot about that. He fumbled the football. Dragus. Toppers point and say they have it. Let's see what the officials say. They say Chardon has it. Toppers get a turnover with 2:33 to go here in the first.
And that was a simple exchange from center to quarterback. And once again, Chardon, I think, has made more mistakes overall, but Madison keeps making the big ones. And so Hilltopper offense back out on the field.
No score here. 2.5 minutes to play, first quarter from Chardon Memorial. Matt Jaworski, Jamie Ward with you here on GTV. Both teams had possessions end. Their first drives of the game end on turnovers. Toppers going to take over back near midfield. Trevisano maybe a yard up the middle on that run. Little gain. Jamie, offense is going to be missing one key cog this week and likely next week. And the defense as well.
Well, mostly the defense. You talking about Sulka?
Nathaniel Sulka.
Yeah, Sulka, I mean, he'd run some wildcat.
Well, he was a split end as well. A little bit of tight end.
Yeah, he could catch the ball. But dislocated elbow. He'll miss the rest of the regular season, but the still pretty optimistic.
Pettyjohn left side, running room across the 40, down inside the 35-yard line. Boy, he took off once he got around the corner.
Fast young man. Also 155 pounds. He's a junior. We talked about that low center of gravity. Fastest kid on the team. I remember when Mitch sent in his preview. I think he's got the fastest 40 time on the team. And when he starts to get downhill, that's when you see it.
He has turned it on as of late. They go to Pettyjohn again. James Pettyjohn keeping the legs moving up near the 32-yard line. Gain of about 4 on that play. Question going to become, can the Hilltoppers now avoid the big mistakes here and get on the scoreboard? I would imagine, Jamie, that while the defense was on the field, the offense was together talking about what they got to do to clean things up.
Look at this formation.
2nd and 6. Trevisano going to keep it himself up the middle. Gain of maybe 2 on that one. Trevisano's run going to bring up a 3rd down and about 4.
Senior Lucas Semler has checked into the game.
Split end here for the Hilltoppers. Will line up to the right side. Man going in motion. They're going to hand it off. It's Pettyjohn, and Pettyjohn picks up another couple yards before he is brought down. And this Madison defense starting to make some plays, Jamie. That time it was Will Eaton, or excuse me, Nick Wardrop, who made the stop.
That should be the last play of the first quarter, Matt. And so the Hilltoppers, who have, let's be honest, they've kept the ball and they've dominated time of possession, but both teams have made some mistakes, and so we have no score after the first quarter.
With that, we're going to pause and take a timeout here on GTV. Welcome back, everyone. We begin the second quarter. Toppers face a 4th down and 3 from the 29-yard line. They're going to go for it. Trevisano looking to throw the football. Left side, incomplete. Toppers were looking for Brady Toth on that one, but the throw was not that great. There was some tight coverage on Toth. He couldn't necessarily get it, and the Toppers will turn the ball over on downs. So Mayfield's defense, another stop And now Alex Dragus in the offense will be coming back out on the field. Dragus able to throw the ball. He has 3 receivers who have combined for over 50 receptions between them. That's Cole Tanner, Brad McKeon, and Marcel Welch. Dragus will give the ball to McCourt. McCourt trying to run between the tackles. No go. Topper snuffed that one out. Mendezoon, one of the Toppers that was there to make the stop. Second and 10 now for Madison, as Dragus going to send 3 receivers to the right side. Nobody on the left. Now he's going to have 4 receivers left side as a man goes in motion. They're going to pitch it left side. They're going to throw the ball down the field, up in the air, and it is incomplete. I thought Doyle might have had the pick. He had to get down on the ground and dive for it, but couldn't hang on.
Kevin Doyle, last home game, had that big interception against Kenston that changed things a little bit. And Madison, the first team tonight, Matt, to do something a little bit spooky, if you will, as Halloween approaches.
Third down and 10 now for the Blue Streaks. This game turning into a defensive battle here. No score early in the second. Dragus, pump fake, under pressure, somehow gets away with it. Gonna throw it back over the middle. It is caught for a first down across the 40, 45 near midfield, 50. And that's a big first down for Welch.
What we're seeing right now with Dragus, Matt, is that the Hilltoppers are going to have to pressure him. If you give him time to make those second-type reads, he's going to hurt you, and that comes with his experience.
Man goes in motion and wave that play off. Official's going to stop it right there. Looked like they were trying to give it to McKeon on the handoff. Encroachment penalty against the Hilltoppers will give Madison the ball, first down and 5 from the Hilltopper 45-yard line. Dragus going to go between the tackles, makes his way up near the 42-yard line. Thought I saw Nick Fay amongst others. Maybe Needhurst was around him too. And Jamie, right now, we're seeing Madison look to run the football. They've got a second down and 1 from the 41. Dragus from the gun. Will hand it off McCourt. He picks up the first down and more across the 35, down inside the 32 near the 31-yard line. So the Blue Streaks with another first down. They move the chains, and they're pushing the Toppers back. Madison not bothering to huddle. 3 receivers all the way to the left. They will hand the ball off McKeon, 30, down to the 25-yard line, where he is brought down. Nice gain on that play of about 6.
Miles Mendezoon on the tackle.
Second and 4 for the Blue Streaks. McCourt to the left, and they give it to him. He's got some running room, breaks a tackle near the 15-yard line where he's brought down.
That looked a lot like a Chardon play. Running in motion was McKeon. He got the fake, and then McCourt goes right side.
So Austin McCourt gives his squad a 1st down and 10 now from the Hilltopper 15-yard line.
Madison in the red zone. The Chardon Crazies, that's where they're headed.
Dragus on the fake up the gut. And Dragus picked up a tough 4, maybe 5 on that run.
No surprise, Matt, the Crazies doing a Halloween theme tonight. Lots of interesting costumes as they are in that north end zone as we're under 9 minutes, Matt, and this has been almost like a heavyweight fight. Both teams are really feeling each other out. Who's going to strike the first punch?
Well, we thought it would be Chardon, but it wasn't. McKeon looking to go. Now he's going to reverse his course, and he is shut down for no gain on that run. The Hilltopper defense stayed home, did not let him find an open gap, and it will be 3rd down and 7.
Madison only scored, I think, 13 points last week. Hold on, where are my notes? They scored 14. That was a low for the season. And so Kenston's defense played very well last week. This Hilltopper defense now also ready to step up.
McCourt gets the call left side, making his way across the 10 down near the 9. And it will be a 4th down situation for Madison. And what do they do now? I believe, Jamie, that they're going to bring out C.J. Kessler and the field goal unit.
Yeah, they are bringing the unit on. They're in a good position. There's no wind tonight. It's a little chilly, but honestly, for those guys out there who are on the field, 50 degrees isn't that cold.
Going to be a 26-yard field goal for Kessler. His 2nd field goal of the season is good. So with 7:10 left to play, Madison strikes first. They lead 7-0.
A lot of leg on that kick, and so very much good. As the Madison band strikes it up. They've always had a very traditional band. In that full uniform, those caps have the plume, and those horns waving right now. So I wouldn't call that a punch, though, Matt, to be honest with you. I would call that the first sort of maybe a jab. Maybe Chardon staggers for a minute, but definitely not a punch. And that's good news for this Chardon defense to hunker down and only give up 3.
Well, it's going to be up to the Hilltoppers offense now to come up and respond to that. Jamie, look at the Western Reserve Conference standings entering tonight's game. Mayfield on top, 5-0. Chardon and Kenston in 2nd place with a 4-1 record, followed by Riverside, who's in 4th at 3-2, and then Madison 2-3 in 5th place. The 2 Willoughby Eastlake schools, North and South, both at 1-4. Brush in the bottom. They're in 8th place at 0-5.
Yeah, part of that, of course, is just where they played teams in their schedule, right? Because another squib.
Topper's going to fall on that one. Looked like Madison maybe was thinking onside kick if they could get it to bounce off a Hilltopper. We saw Chardon do that against Kenston when they recovered that onside kick.
Second time, that sort of a squib kick. That one, though, hit an up back directly and went forward. Thankfully for the Hilltoppers, man. Who was that? Zoran Vuaklia that jumped on that football?
I'm not sure. I didn't get a good look at the number.
I thought it was, but
we'll go with it.
Great field position again for the Hilltoppers. They've been here all night.
Well, they have, and now they got to make something of it. Pettyjohn goes in motion, and it's, I believe, DJ Bowman who gets the call coming left side, and Bowman picking up a couple of hard-earned yards.
When you look at the tackles right now, the Hilltoppers have not been successful up there. And again, we talked about it. You look at Madison's only got 3 defensive linemen, but
there's some big boys.
There's some big country Madison boys.
2nd and 9 from the 45. Pettyjohn trying to go around the left side on the sweep. Nowhere to go. Nice stop by Johnston, and a flag comes out.
It's a hold. Goodness. They're going to decline it? No. Sorry. I'm just looking at one of the officials. They are going to decline it. Wow. You don't see that very often.
No, you don't.
Tim Willis, Madison's head coach. Interesting.
We'll bring up a 3rd down and 9 now for the Hilltoppers. You know, Jamie, I guess what the thought process is, you don't want to give them an extra down, despite the fact you move them back 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Don't know what it is. I just know it's pretty unique.
Toppers come set. Trevisano going to flush out to the right side, looking to throw. Bootleg. The ball's caught by Pettyjohn. That looked like a one-handed catch, racing down the sideline, and Pettyjohn was pushed out of bounds.
That was a one-handed catch, Matt. His left hand, he reached out and brought that in. Wasn't a bad throw, but what a catch.
That catch gave the Hilltoppers a 1st down, moves the ball all the way out to the Madison 36-yard line, and perhaps provides a spark that this team needs. And now the Toppers going to send a whole bunch of guys over to shift them to the left side of the line. Pitch. Pettyjohn able to haul it in, gets past the man on his feet across the 25 down near the 20, now a late flag.
You know what I think there, Matt? Gosh, and we talked about, there's 2 flags, by the way, I think, so who knows. But that Madison defender threw the Chardon guy down to the ground in a way that I just think that's inappropriate. We'll see what they end up calling, but football is trying to stay safe. And those hits that we used to love, there we go. A lot of that stuff that we used to love, it just doesn't work anymore, right? Like, you can't go helmet to helmet. You got to keep the game safe. And we're seeing that at all levels, including the high school level.
I've said this for years, and I'll stick with it, that if you want to make the game safer, in my opinion, you take away the protective equipment, then these guys won't be launching themselves like they are now. Trevisano going to throw out left side. Ball is caught. Nice gain there on 1st down. Keaton Ziegenfuss making the catch there. Don't see Keaton get the opportunity too much to catch the football. Matter of fact, that's his 1st catch of the year. 2nd and 5 now for the Hilltoppers from the 31. Boy, a lot of shit. This is a chess match, the way that this is going. And Trevisano keeps it himself. He gets close to the 1st down marker, but might be a yard shy.
It's going to be 3rd and short. It's a couple things at play here. One is, could Keaton Ziegenfuss kick a 43-yard field goal? Yeah, he could, but we saw him really miss one badly from this hash mark 2 weeks ago, so I would go 4 down territory.
It's a lot colder, too, so that ball will even be more of a rock on a night like tonight.
Yeah, the key is make sure you're running something just up and down.
3rd and 1 from the 27. Toppers will run the football. And it looks like they picked it up across the 25 down inside the 24-yard line. It was DJ Bowman who got the carry, and Bowman gets a big 1st down.
Absolutely. That fullback dive.
Jamie, you go back to that Mayfield game when the Hilltoppers offensive line just was getting pushed around left and right. And they had a tough time up in Mayfield, but they bounced back, and they have played well ever since. Trevisano under center. Hands the ball off, coming left side. Nice cut by Pettyjohn. He's headed toward the end zone. Touchdown, Toppers. James Pettyjohn from 24 yards out.
The young man has such strong football moves, Matt, when he's got the football, and he gets to the outside there. There was a guy who had an angle on him, and what does he do? Stutter step, touchdown. He has been the most dynamic player on offense this second half of the season.
And now Keaton Ziegenfuss out to attempt the PAT. Bit of a high snap, kick is down, and it is good. So with 3:44 left to play before halftime, the Hilltoppers respond back, and they now take a 7-3 lead.
You're in this boxing match, you take a jab to the face, and you come back with a haymaker, and that's what the Hilltoppers did all the way down the field. And now with 3:44 to go, remember, Hilltoppers get the ball at halftime. And so this has been a fun football game to watch and what we expected, really.
Well, it's what you get. These two teams, and we talked about this with Mitch Hewitt prior to the game, they're pretty well even in a sense. 4-4 during Mitch's, well, this is now his 9th year here.
Right, so he's either going to have a winning record or a losing record after tonight. But despite the playoff appearances that Chardon has had over the last few years, and you know, we kind of always feel the same about Riverside as well. Right?
Oh,
There's always
yep.
a few teams that always give us their best game, no matter if they're the best or we are. And Madison's one of those teams.
Yeah, it's just interesting how certain teams match up against certain schools, and you hit it on the head. Dave Boers in Riverside always seems to have something on Chardon, and Madison and Chardon just always play very close. So the Toppers, you got to give them credit, Jamie. They have done well the last couple years against Madison, including a 28-7 victory last year. And in that game, Max Vuyaclia had a good game, a 55-yard touchdown pass to Dante Perico. He had a 62-yard touchdown run. McKnight a pair of touchdown runs late in that game. But right now, 3:44 left to go before halftime. The Topper defense coming back out on the field. And Jamie, you think now, up 7-3, maybe a little bit of extra pep in their step, knowing that they can hold here. Blue Streaks come out, 2 receivers to each side. Austin McCourt in the backfield to the left of Dragus. They're going to give it to McCourt. McCourt with the run, and he gains a few yards. But boy, that defensive line.
Stood up and dropped, Matt. That was Dinko. Was one of the. Also right in there was Zach Morrison, who we haven't talked a lot about tonight.
Well, Morrison has earned some playing time. Dragus flushing out left side, looking to throw toward the sidelines. The ball is caught. And the Blue Streaks will be very close to a first down. Not sure where the receiver went out of bounds. Tough to see against when they go into that Hilltopper sideline from our vantage point. But it apparently was enough for a first down. Officials marked the ball at the 31. So it's a first down and 10 for Madison. Clock running now, 3 minutes to go. Madison 2 timeouts. Chardon, by the way, with 1. On the ground, well, I shouldn't say on the ground, but McCourt will run the football.
Sean Carr originally made the stop, and then Morrison was the man who finished him off there. As Madison, they're very comfortable in this hurry-up, Matt, so this isn't going to affect their offense. 2
receivers each side. McCourt gets the call again, and McCourt nowhere to run. Picked up a yard on that play. Will bring up 3rd down and about 1.
Neither team has punted yet tonight.
Now Madison just letting time chew off the clock. They will get the ball to start the third quarter. McKeon in motion. Dragus looking to run the football now. He cuts it up for the first down out near the 42-yard line.
Yeah, I made that mistake. You're right. Madison will get the football. And, of course, we will have the Chardon marching band at halftime. And don't they usually do a special Halloween thing?
I believe they do. We'll find out. We'll find out what Dragus is going to do. Throws the football into the stands.
Well, he's out of the pocket. So
yeah. He hit a little girl in the head who wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
She looks to be okay, though.
That's how you throw the football away.
Well, we'll bring up second down and 10. Stop the clock, 1:42 left to play. Right now for the Blue Streaks. Trying to get in scoring position here. Dragus thought about throwing, now stepping up in the pocket. Dragus was hit! Woo-hoo! How do you do? My McDivitt made him pay.
Cade McDevitt, my goodness. Nobody uses a timeout. This is one of those areas where Madison doesn't certainly want to stop the clock. And if you're Chardon, I wouldn't want to stop it either.
Third and 10 from the 43. Dragus claps his hands. Hands ball off. McKeon looking to throw it. Now he's going to try to run. He will head out of bounds. Great job by the Hilltopper defense to play contain.
And the Blue Streaks map will be forced to punt.
It was Thomas Dillon that forced him out of bounds. 4th and 13 with 54 seconds left to go. Dragus does the punting.
Oh, almost blocked.
Got it off. Trevisano gonna watch it go out of bounds.
That was Keaton Ziegenfuss who almost, I think some of his coaches are like, how did you not block that? He was that close. And now the Hilltoppers with 46 seconds, one timeout, Matt. You know, Chardon, they don't take a knee in this situation. They try to run some of those counter plays that sometimes they break.
Well, certainly, Jamie, with 46 seconds left to go, you're going to have to likely run 3 plays if Madison elects now to burn 2 of their timeouts.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You don't. You take one shot on your counter play, and then you go to halftime.
Pettyjohn goes in motion, and it's the QB Trevisano who keeps it as he makes his way to about the 25-yard line, clock running. And it looks like Madison will just let it go.
There are some new play clock rules that were put into play this year. It's now a 40 in most cases, not a 25. And I don't know if they have to run a play or not. Frank Hall, the offensive coordinator, just put his hand up and said, nope, don't do that. Maybe they're going to call a timeout, Matt, and run one more play. Maybe.
They do have a timeout left.
Mitch Hewitt now standing next to our line judge. And nope, halftime. Look at Mitch. You know, Mitch just made that as dramatic as he could.
Toppers head into half up 7-3. Jamie and I are going to take a timeout here on GTV, but we invite you to stick around, folks, because up next we will have the fine sounds of that magnificent Hilltopper marching band for you, as it is the Halloween show here on Senior Night.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Under the direction of Mark Bear and Michelle Watson, along with major and top red advisors Debbie Staple and Caitlin Sanders,
1-2,
being led on
1-2.
the field by drum major Will Squires, we present to you the Chardon Marching Hilltoppers and the annual Halloween Show. To begin our show this evening, here comes Phantom of the Opera. Next is a song that needs no introduction. The movie was a huge hit at the box office in 1984 and is easily one of the funniest and most creative films ever made. The hilarious thrill ride never seems to get old or dated. Featuring our majorettes, Who You Gonna Call? Ghostbusters! close this evening's show featuring our Topperettes in a band dance inspired by one of the most influential performers of the 1980s. Here's that famous tune from Michael Jackson. Here's Thriller. All right, Topper fans, put your hands together for the Chardon High School Fight Song. Let's hear it for the 2019 Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band.
Jim has decided that this will be his last season coaching and plans to focus on family and other aspects of his life. This will be his last regular season home game on the Hilltopper sideline. Please join in a round of applause to thank Coach Jim Britt for all he has contributed to the Hilltopper football program.
Welcome back, everyone, and what a great halftime performance, Jamie, by the band.
It's the most fun of the year for sure, and that is the Halloween. What a bunch of great costumes. I mean, we were talking about them.
The kids get so creative with what they like to do with the costumes. The Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Blues Brothers I saw out there look like the Three Amigos, a whole bunch of great costumes.
That's a good kick.
Ziegenfuss's kick into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Hilltoppers will begin on defense. And Jamie, this Madison offense has 68 rushing yards. They've got 55 passing yards, a total of 123 first half yards. Austin McCourt, 9 carries for 35 yards, and Dragus, 4 of 7 passing for 55 yards. 4 different receivers have 1 catch each. Those stats courtesy of Jay Cron of the News Herald.
Yeah, you know, first time I've seen him this year. You've probably seen him maybe.
No, I've seen him quite a bit. Good buddy of mine from Wycliffe. Madison going to keep it. They're going to run the football and pick up about 6 on that possession, or on that play.
Remember, Matt, through 8 weeks this season, Hilltoppers defense only allowed 55 yards rushing as an average. Madison hasn't run it all that effectively, but, you know, getting more than 55 yards, that's not always all that hard.
No. I mean, we've seen the Hilltoppers over the years bust out runs longer than that.
For sure.
3rd down and 2 for Madison.
Here's a big one, early.
Toppers looking for a stop, 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. They will go to the ground again. McCourt looking for a second effort, but I do not think he got it. He might be about a yard shy.
I think so. The spot absolutely indicates that. So a yard shy. What does Madison do here early in the 3rd quarter?
I think you have to punt the football. I mean, Jamie, the worst thing that you can have happen is you go for it, you miss it, and then all of a sudden Chardon has the ball inside the Madison 30.
I think it's a good decision, but
it's
we've
solid.
seen teams go for it.
Well, you never know. Alex Dragus is the punter, so maybe, no, straight up kick that time. Trevisano going to watch it bounce at the 40, 30. He picks it up, coming near side 35, and brought down around the 40-yard line. That is where the Hilltoppers will take over.
Nice job by the senior there. You get 4 or 5 more yards. And Joey Trevisano, remember, he stepped in week 1 against West Geauga as the quarterback of necessity. Then it turned out that the offense was just clicking a little bit more under him. Now, Max Vuaclia is healthy, or has been healthy. We might see him again at some point in the season, but right now it's Joey's offense.
Trevisano, speaking of Trevisano, going to run it right side and picks up a decent gain there on 1st down. Going to bring up 2nd down and maybe about 4 or so.
You know, the story goes, Matt, when Trevisano was in Little League, his dad made him a ball glove that had 2 thumbs, a left and a right, because they didn't know what hand he threw with. He could throw with both.
A very fortunate and athletic young man, to say the least. 2nd and 3 for the Toppers. Trevisano going to fake it to Pettyjohn. He was hit. Johnston came through and leveled him. Gets up, though, pretty quick.
We've said this about Johnston tonight. He's been a playmaker. And that kind of reminds me back in the day, Matt, remember when John Madden was doing games?
Oh, yes, indeed.
He would have just said, boom!
Also might have said turducken.
It's a hit.
3rd down and 3 now from their 48. Toppers will run the football close to the 1st down. It was Pettyjohn, and did he pick it up? Yes, he did.
Official here near side gives him the spot. Chains have moved. The Hilltoppers have had field position. I would say if there's one element of this game that they're winning, it's been the field position. It hasn't translated yet into as many points as it should have.
Well, it has helped translate into some points. Chardon up 7-3 here. 8:30 and counting. 3rd quarter action. First time the Toppers have had the ball here in the 3rd. Trevisano sends a man in motion. That is Ash. And the official's going to stop this one. Why not? They did it a lot in the first quarter. Going to be a penalty against the Hilltoppers for illegal procedure.
Another penalty. Sideline warning. That's you always get a warning on that. See, both the line judge and the linesmen, head linesman and line judge, they need to work those sidelines, and it's dangerous if some of these JV players or coaches or whomever creep up into their running lane.
1st and 15 for Chardon. Pitched left side, Pettyjohn. Pettyjohn trying to get around the corner. He does. 50 out near the original line of scrimmage, close to the 48.
James Pettyjohn is one of the best one-on-one runners I've seen at Chardon. I mean, one-on-one, he's hard to tackle.
He just is very shifty.
Yes.
You know, you compare him to John McKnight. McKnight had moves, but McKnight could blow you away with speed.
Sure.
Pettyjohn is going to break your ankles. Trevisano trying to go forward, got a few yards on that play. Boy, give Madison some credit there. They kind of were paying attention to him, and that time making the stop. Big number 57, Jake Lowry. Jamie, we talked a little bit about Madison in the opening of this one, but want to go back and look at what they've done this season, because they've played a very tough schedule. They lost 22-19 to Geneva to start the year. Trevisano looking to go around the left side, a little bit of running room, 40 on his feet, first down. Trevisano up near the 34-yard line.
You don't see the stiff arm as much anymore, but Trevisano got a couple, 2-3 extra yards with it there.
Madison beat Lakeside 49-0. Then they fell to Perry 63-35. That is just one of those classic rivalry games. Battle for the little brown jug. 1st and 10 Toppers from the 34. Then give it to Pettyjohn coming around the right side. Made a nice cut going inside, and Pettyjohn around the 27-yard line. Go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to go back to what you're saying. So Madison's rival is Perry, right?
Yep.
That's
the big one.
right. It's always struck me, and this is true across all sports, Chardon, we don't have a true rival.
See, I would think Kenston.
Gosh, we've only been in the same conference for the last 2 or 3 seasons. I mean, Kenston's rival is Chagrin Falls. Or no, I'm sorry.
Handoff left side, Pettyjohn trying to get around the end. He could not do it. Alex Parmenter coming up to make the stop from his linebacker position.
Actually, Chagrin Falls, their rival is West Geauga. They're playing tonight. I haven't checked in on that score. They're similar programs right now. But, yeah, you know, you're right. I don't see it. We'd have to ask Dave Jevnikar, who's our producer tonight,
every night.
All things GTV. I just don't know. I mean, West Geauga is a rival in week 1, and Riverside's considered a rival. It's not quite the same.
Well, and you'd like to say Riverside and Harvey are rivals, but that's breaking up just because of how things are going. Trevisano going to have to do something here, looking to throw the football. Now he's going to tuck it, and he'll chuck it out of bounds toward the cheerleaders. Incomplete. Will live to play another down.
Yeah. Cheerleaders tonight, smart in hoodies, pants.
Yeah, they're moving around, at least staying warm.
Yeah. Down there by our sideline cameraman, Spencer. How's it going down there, Spence? Thumbs up. That's a Brian Foster thumbs up.
Foster taught him well.
He's learned well. Oh, and we have a flag against Chardon.
Holding against the Hilltoppers. Mark it back 10 from the spot of the foul to the 41-yard line. loss of 11 will bring up third down and about 17. Boy, Jamie, Hilltoppers not only have to defeat Madison tonight, but themselves as well. Trevisano dropping back to pass again, stepping up in the pocket. Trevisano looking to throw toward the sidelines, incomplete. Looked to thread the needle, was trying to get it toward Bowman, but tight coverage by the Blue Streaks. That was Johnston and also Hunter Nasden.
We've seen Trevisano change his arm angle. He did that there, but even if it's caught well short of the first down, now it's up to Keaton Ziegenfuss.
Going to try to pin the...
This is a young man, Matt. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm just, his field goals have won 2 games this year. Homecoming in Kenson, another chance here.
Rugby-style punt caught at the 10 by Dragus, spun around and dropped around the 11.
Alex Dragus is the starting safety, the starting quarterback, and he returns punts.
Just like Joey Trevisano. I mean, realistically, they're almost mirror images in the fact that they don't come off the field, they play special teams, they are very key to each team's offense.
The only difference would be that Trevisano became a quarterback this year, and Dragus has been there, but you're right. You have to wonder as we get now deep into this game how this affects the play.
First and 10 Blue Streaks from their own 13. Dragus going to put it in the air, right side, incomplete, was looking for the screen, was trying to hit his receiver, Cole Tanner, couldn't do it, threw it short.
Alex Dragus is a senior in high school, don't get me wrong. He's got a lot of energy. He's a great football player, but you saw him go short there. You wonder when you play, the only time I see someone play 3 ways is at like Newberry when there's 17 kids on the team. So you wonder. You just have to wonder.
Thanks for not picking on my school. Second and 10 from the 13. Handoff. McCourt went through a couple of Hilltoppers, powering his way up near the 20. Strong run by Austin McCourt, bringing up third down and about 4. Jamie, you want to finish that thought, though, on Madison. They beat South 24-21, then lost back-to-back weeks to Riverside and Mayfield 38-22 and 41-7. Big winners against North 50-20. Then last week, a 26-14 loss against Kenston. But from all the reports we saw, they controlled half of that ballgame.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So now it's 3rd and 4 for Madison. They're looking to swing it out right side. Ball's caught by Tanner. He's trying to fall forward toward the first down. The question is, where did he fall? This is going to be a spot call by the officials.
Yeah, he had it. Nice job, nice read. You know what we used to call that? That was a flood, right? You've got 3 potential wide receivers flooding one zone. Chardon does not have enough defensive players in the area, and it works on a short yardage situation.
Clock running under 4:10 to go here in the third. Chardon 7, Madison 3. Appreciate you tuning us in here on GTV. Matt Jaworski, Jamie Ward with you. On to QB keeper Alex Dragus going up the middle, and he is stopped after a short gain. The Hilltopper defense, boy, making life tough for the senior QB. Gavin Slife helped make that stop. Boy, right now, Jamie, Hilltoppers continuing to run guys in and out of that defensive line, keeping them fresh. Of course, I say that and they don't do it on that play because Madison right back to the line. McKeon was in motion. They're going to get it to Tanner. Made the spinning catch across the 35 out near the 39-yard line.
The thing is, Matt, Madison doesn't huddle, but they're also not running a true hurry up. Like, look at them right now. They're not huddled, but what are they doing? Like, they're all looking at the sidelines. They could have huddled. They don't. don't get it.
It's an unofficial huddle,
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't. Yeah, an unofficial one.
McKeon goes in motion. Dragus keeps it, pulled it back, and Dragus across the 40 up near the 42.
And that allows Chardon, who does like to substitute defensively. First injury, Matt. I don't know. Looks like a cramp.
I don't know. That's Zach Morrison who's coming off the field.
Looks like a cramp.
Yeah.
Well, one thing, this is our 6th home game. One thing that we've had is great weather. I mean, yeah, it's a little whatever. Great weather. It could be raining right now. It could be sleeting right now, but you always have to stay hydrated.
Always. You need those electrolytes. You start with the electrolytes the day after the game. You just keep pounding them all week long. McCourt gets the call. McCourt on his feet. He keeps the legs churning. That young man, Jamie, I'm just impressed by how tough a runner Austin McCourt is.
Yeah, he really is. And just like Chardon, you've got McCourt, who again, he's 5'5".
At 5'5", listed at 155 pounds, but I think he runs a lot tougher than that.
Well, there's an advantage to being below. And remember, Madison's offensive line, those are some big boys up front. You get lost.
McKeon goes in motion. They will hand it off McCourt again. McCourt up near the first down. I don't know if he picked it up. Officials actually going to come back in and say no up to the 47. Well, I was looking at the near side lineman, Jamie, and he kind of turned in.
It looks like Madison's going to punt here. And honestly, I like the call. I like a field position game right now because why not? It's 7-3.
I'm going to say this, though. If you're Chardon, be wary of a fake punt at this point in time. Dragus, though, will boot it in the air toward the sideline. Fair catch called for it by Joey Trevisano. Dove for it and made the catch.
Gosh, you're right. Both of our quarterbacks are our punt returners. They start on defense in the secondary. And they punt to each other.
Well, difference is Trevisano ain't doing the punt, and it's Keaton Ziegenfuss. But it's pretty darn close.
Yeah, you're right.
Matter of fact, that's probably the only time Trevisano's not on the field is when Keaton's out for PATs and punts. 7-3 the score. It's been a grinded-out type of affair here at Chardon Memorial. It's been senior night. And, Jamie, the Hilltoppers have just continued to make mistakes in terms of penalties. This time, Trevisano, around the end, turned it up the field, gained a few yards there. Chardon, by the way, didn't get the chance to mention this earlier, but at halftime, Chardon with 103 rushing yards and 24 passing yards. They had 127 total first half yards. Pettyjohn had 8 carries in the first half for 82 yards and that touchdown. Chardon 2nd and 4 from their own 26. Trevisano, that is Trevisano left side. And he's very close to the first down. He gets it.
And I think, Matt, that is going to be the last play of this third quarter. So these two teams right now, as we've said, they felt each other out early. Madison struck first with a jab. That was a field goal for 3 points. Chardon answers with a right hook and the touchdown. But both of these teams are very much on their feet in the ring. And who knows what will happen in this very final round. Here's something to remember. Chardon has allowed 0 points in the fourth quarter through 8 games. 0.
And can they keep it up? Only time will tell here as the third quarter has officially come to an end. Jamie, you look at what Chardon has done in this game, and they have had some success running it to the outside. The question is, can it continue, or is Madison going to finally figure out a way to contain the ends?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun fourth quarter. I want to remind everybody very quickly, issue 21 is on the ballot November the 5th. It is a plan to build new facilities here in Chardon. You can go on GTV's website, go to Citizens for Chardon Schools. All the information you need to know is on there. And for our viewers that live in the Berkshire School District, we will be providing updates on that building as well, as they're going to have a new high school. So GTV is, of course, a place you can get high school sports, but it's also a place for community news.
It absolutely is. 1st and 10 Toppers from the 32. Pettyjohn goes in motion, and it looked like Madison jumped that time. Toppers will be getting a 1st and 5. Jamie, you've been around the area. You do, obviously, your work for the Maple Leaf takes you to many of the different schools in Geauga County, and even just a few outside. But I'll get to that question in just a second here. I'm ready to ask you. Trevisano now sends Pettyjohn right. Pitch right side, Bowman 40, 45, and Bowman out toward the midfield, but another flag comes in.
First time we've seen Bowman get outside of the tackles, or at least he hasn't done it much. It was a successful play, but I don't like the flag, Matt.
That is unbelievable.
Well, this one gonna again go against the Chardon Hilltoppers. It's gonna be a holding penalty. And boy, they just cannot stop the penalties tonight.
Anytime Mitch Hewitt takes his headset off, there's some frustration.
First and 16 for the Toppers from their 26. Early fourth quarter action here on GTV. Matt Jaworski, Jamie Ward with you. The fake to Pettyjohn. Trevisano going to go right side, and Pettyjohn picked up about 5 yards on that one.
Should mention just again, with the injury to Nathaniel Sulka, he was a guy who took 3 to 4 snaps a game, maybe more in that Wildcat offense. So Chardon a little bit more limited offensively.
Now Sulka, just for you folks joining us late, Sulka out. He injured his elbow, dislocated it in the game against South last week. He's out this week and out next week for sure. Status after that unknown. There's another flag.
Well, Coach Mitch said before the game, he said best case, it was the best case scenario for Nathaniel. He's going to be able to play again, assuming that Chardon goes to the playoffs, and they got it back in immediately, right? When something gets dislocated, you got to put it back. We learned that the hard way.
Well, you give credit to the Chardon training staff. They were able to diagnose it pretty quick, got him onto the squad, took him to the hospital, and was okay after that. Run right side. Hilltoppers will get a little bit back.
Let's go, Jerry.
Jamie, Trevisano on the keeper and got past the original line of scrimmage.
That was Drew Fetchick.
Was that Drew Fetchick? Okay.
Drew Fetchick is in the game at quarterback right now.
Yeah, Trevisano. So Fetchick is actually running the Wildcat. Technically speaking, Fetchick is the...
He's a quarterback.
Is a quarterback.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. Wait, no, I'm sorry, he's a junior. He's the starting point guard on the basketball team, and now he's running the offense. So,
but
it's 3rd and 8. And oh no.
That play just did not look good from the get-go, and Fetchick nowhere to go.
What is up with Trevisano? It looked like maybe he limped off.
He is He was lined up on the offense that time. I don't know, Jamie. I think Chardon just trying to maybe a little bit of trickeration there, but it didn't work. Madison just snuffed it out. It's 4th and 8. Hilltoppers forced to punt the football. I'm not.
Chardon in its first chance to lose the field position game. If they're not careful, let it hit. There it goes. Look at that.
Good bounce, and Dragus will watch it roll to around the 20-yard line.
What a great, the ball hits and kicks. If you're listening, at this point, Matt, in the fourth quarter, we've got some people listening live at home. Dennis and Lillian Graw out on North Street. Thanks for listening in. It's 7-3 Chardon, has been for a bit, but that was a great punt. It was an important one.
That's what the Hilltoppers needed. But, Jamie, I wanted to get back to that question I was about to ask you before we got interrupted here. You've been doing this a long time. Can you remember a game this late in the season where one team has had this many illegal procedure penalties throughout the contest?
No, and God, there's a lot on the other side, too. So, but, yeah, you're right. It's strange.
Dragus had to go down for that snap. Now he's going to throw it right side. Ball in and out of the hands of Cole Tanner.
Just so everyone knows, it's a legal procedure, but you know it is a false start. That's what we're really seeing. We're seeing a lot of false starts, and it's strange.
Going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Hilltoppers last week after the game ran wind sprints against South.
After winning 42-0?
Yes.
He made them run wind sprints?
They were not disciplined. McKeon going to be stopped in the backfield. Topper saw that one coming. Vince Ferrante, one of the guys in there.
God, that's someone we haven't mentioned much yet tonight, Matt. And this is a guy who, one of the more talented players on the team.
No, Vince Ferrante, a guy who has 71 tackles, the team leader in tackles.
A name that we need to mention. We tend to get stuck on some of the same guys.
3rd and 13. Ball on the 17. This is a big possession, or big play here for the Chardon defense. Dragus looking to throw. Flushed out, going to chuck it toward the right sideline. Incomplete. Wonder if he was out of the box. Official's going to talk this one over. No, he wasn't. Jamie, this will be intentional grounding.
Which is just going to move them back. It was still a punting situation, but yeah, it's a good thing for Chardon.
Now the Toppers, you almost, Jamie, catch your break here because now it is 4th down and the ball spotted inside the 10-yard line all the way back to the, what is that, the 6? So 4th and 25. You can pretty much rule out a fake punt here.
Yeah.
And you've got Joey Trevisano standing on the 35. Toppers will watch that kick go toward the left sideline. Will take a Madison bounce across the 45 out to about the 46. Hilltoppers will have some good starting field position again. And Jamie, at some point in time, you'd like to see them take advantage of it.
You're right. They have won that battle today. That's about as best of a punt as you could hope for there. And so give the seniors some credit. But where are we at with the quarterback? Trevisano is back. So
this game,
use this clock. Chardon is not allowed a point in the fourth quarter, not a point. Use the clock, right?
It's what they do best.
Yeah.
Run the football, drain the clock. You know, this game, as it progresses more and more, for all you Buckeye fans out there, it just has the feel of trestle ball right now. Speaking of running the football, Trevisano tries to get outside. He couldn't do it. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage.
That's another instance where I watch Madison kids tackle people and they like grab them and throw them down. I don't understand. I don't understand. And by the way, now Fetchick's back in at quarterback. So it's a lot going on right now. A lot going on.
Well, indeed there is. So Fetchick from the gun. 2 receivers to the left, including Brady Toth split out far side. Man goes in motion. That's Pettyjohn. He gets the call left side. Pettyjohn able to make a man miss. 45, initiated some contact, fell forward. Nice little gain on 2nd and 11.
That was Hunter Nasden for the Blue Streaks who took the brunt of that hit.
Hunter leads their team with 4 interceptions, but didn't help them much there. 3rd and 6 for Chardon. Fetchick still in the game. 2 receivers split out to the right. Pettyjohn again goes in motion. And Fetchick keeps himself, made a couple guys miss. First down. Great cut by Fetchick. Fetchick across the 30, down inside the 20-yard line to about the 15.
As I walked in the game tonight, Matt, Andy Fetchick, former Chardon principal, he was our principal during what happened in 2012. He's still setting up the equipment down in that south end zone. And Drew is, boy, he's doing a special thing right now.
Well, it was funny what Andy told us. Toppers will run the football again. Not much going on that carry. But I'll tell you what, though, and Jamie, we don't talk about this enough, if really at all, is all the support that the football team gets from so many volunteers.
Oh my goodness, they have there's a tent. They have a full scale tablet system where their players are watching replays in real time. It's now legal in high school football.
Fetchick going to send a man in motion, going to keep it himself up the middle. Fetchick still going, and Fetchick inside the 10 near the first down marker, but there's a flag.
When the Hilltoppers defense comes off the field, there are coaches that have tablets and they're watching the plays that had just happened. I mean, this is common in the NFL and in college football, but Chardon has it. That's mostly from the Gridiron Club. They're very supportive. They raise that money. You know, the school doesn't pay for that. The school doesn't pay for tablets and cameras, but the Gridiron Club does.
Holding was the call on that penalty. Will make it 2nd down and about 15 from the 21.
Trevisano back at quarterback.
He's going to pitch it Bowman. Bowman tried to make a cut, but he was stopped in the backfield. Alex Blackie, the linebacker, a senior, 5'10", 160, was right there to make that tackle. Going to bring up 3rd and 14.
Well, the thing for Chardon right now that I will say is that they're in field goal range for sure. So I would play for 3. That's what I would do. I'd let Keaton try to kick a field goal.
Brady Toth lined up as a split end on the far side. Trevisano from the gun. Pettyjohn in motion. And Trevisano looking to run it left side. Now makes a cut up toward the field across the 20. Picked up maybe 2 yards on that run. And out comes the field goal unit.
We've seen Keaton. Now, of course, he actually kicked the game-winning kick against Kenson from this hash as well, but a little bit shorter. He also missed a 43-yard badly. So I feel like this is a tough hash for a right-footed kicker.
It's a 35-yard field goal attempt by Keaton Ziegenfuss. This will make it a 7-point game if he hits it. Got it. It's headed toward the uprights, and it's good! Keaton with the 35-yarder with 3:42 left to play, and Chardon now up 10-3.
It's a big kick. He and Trevisano just, the thing is, Matt, what are we going to do next year when there's no longer any Ziegenfuss young men on this team? I mean, what are we going to do?
I talked with Marty about that.
You go back to Ethan, who changed his kicking program, and then there was Mason, who fell right in the same line, and then there's Keaton. Keep in mind, all of these young men are excellent football players upon themselves, but as kickers, they change the game. Kickoffs, kicks, punts, they change the game. And Chardon is going to have to come to a reckoning next year without Keaton.
Well, we've seen Jenna Oriani make a couple of PATs in kind of cleanup time, if you will. So she may be the heir apparent. Time will tell. We've got an offseason to, Mitch and company have an offseason to figure that one out. Ball's caught just shy of the 1. Return man up across the 20 and near the 25-yard line. That's where Madison will take over. Jamie, this is it for the Blue Streaks here. 3:35 left to go. And they're going to likely play for downs on this one, because they have to, it's like, if they don't come away with a touchdown, they will not win this one. And even then, a touchdown, and you need a 2-point conversion.
Well, each team has 3 timeouts, so there's some things that can happen, but you're right. I mean, what we've seen tonight, this is important.
Drag us to McKeenan, left side, gets out of bounds after a short gain. Brad McKeon, nice catch, pickup of about 6.
Good to see a lot of local media here tonight, Matt, as well. We've got the News Herald, Lake County Sentinel.
Star Beacon to our left.
Star Beacon.
Maple Leaf to my right.
Right.
Stopped in the backfield for a loss. Mendezun in there to make that tackle.
Miles' dad, of course, is Doc Mendezun. He's been the team doctor for, goodness, I think 20 years. Practices here in town. He was like an Olympic qualifier for like the Netherlands or something, but
3rd and 5 from the 28. Dragus claps his hands, dropping back to pass, looking to throw left side. The ball was caught, but did he stay in bounds? Yes, he did. Wow. Marcel Welch with the catch. Will be short of the first down by about a yard. They need to get to about the 38.5, and he will be marked just shy of the 34.5. Ball marked just shy of the 33.
It's a great catch. We had a bad angle on it. I thought he was out of bounds, but.
Toppers. No, Madison going to call the timeout. And Jamie,
that's a costly timeout. That is such a costly timeout.
But 4th down and 1. I mean, this could theoretically be the game here. You give Chardon the ball on the 32 if you can't convert here. And they're a first down away from.
You could punt the ball and use your timeouts, and I mean, anyway.
No, I'm just thinking you go for it.
Even if there's a long way to go, Matt. There's a long way to go. So sure, I get calling a timeout, but I don't know what's so complicated about 4th and 1. You'd think that you've got a play that's ready for that.
Well, Madison 3-5 on the year, 2-3 in the Western Reserve Conference. Facing a 4th down and 1 from the 32.
Now that they took that timeout, this is the game.
Dragus, 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right, claps his hand, sends McKeon in motion. Will fake the handoff. Dragus went ahead.
It's a first down. Forward progress, first down, moves the chains.
Will temporarily stop the clock as they reset the chains. Now the clock moves 2:20 and counting. Twins right side, 2 receivers to the left. McCourt in the backfield to the left of Alex Dragus. Dropping back to pass, looking over the middle, and overthrows everybody.
Madison has been decent at that middle range game, but we have not seen them throw the ball downfield with any success at all.
Now this Hilltopper defense, undoubtedly the strength of the team.
10-3. I mean, you think about what an offensive game football is now. This is fun to watch.
Dragus going to roll out to his left, looks to throw toward the sidelines. The ball is caught. Going to be close to the first down. That was Noah Tweedy who made the catch. It is a first down.
It is a first down. The clock will stop, but he was in bounds, so that's good news for Chardon. You want Madison to feel a little panicked here. You want them to understand the clock is working against them.
1:50 to go now. Dragus stepping up, feeling some pressure, looking to take off, makes a man miss 50, 45, near side 40, 35, and brought down at the 30-yard line. It was Kevin Doyle, the cornerback, who made that potential touchdown-saving stop. What a huge run.
I'm a little surprised he doesn't go out of bounds, Matt. I mean, as a senior, there's a lot of time. I get it, but
now they were ready, only let a couple seconds burn off. McCourt dragging a couple. Hilltoppers still going up near the 20-yard line. Shy of the first down by about a foot or two. Keeps the clock running now, 1:19 to go. Madison getting back set. Twins right, Twins left. Dragus looking to throw. Left side, it is incomplete. Tweedy couldn't handle it. Stops the clock with 1:01 to go.
Officials want to talk about something, Matt, and I don't know what it is, but
believe they're going to end up putting some time back on the clock. I think 1:05. Jamie.
4 seconds are added to the clock.
2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Austin McCourt to the left. McCourt gets the carry. McCourt tripped up in the backfield.
He doesn't have it. It's 4th down.
And Madison letting the clock run now.
They should burn a timeout. I mean, goodness.
Well, the problem is you've let this much time run out now. You can't burn a timeout. They're going for it as is. Hilltoppers. Game on the line right here. 4th and 1 from the 21, and timeout has been called.
Yeah, of course. And they wasted. It was Chardon.
Chardon called the timeout with 36 seconds left to go. Chardon looked like they tried to bring Zach Morrison in late, then he had to come right back off the field. They might just have wanted to get in a different personnel package when they saw how the Blue Streaks lined up.
Want to mention Jim Britt, the Chardon assistant coach, who is coaching in his last home game tonight, Matt, 33 years. You know what that means? That means he actually coached not only Mitch Hewitt, but many of these Chardon assistant coaches who played for Chardon. And Gosh, what a service to his community and all these young men throughout the years.
He received a tremendous ovation right before the third quarter started. Gave the crowd the old tip of the hat, and he will be missed. 4th and 1, here we go. This is the game. Dragus will run it, and Dragus picks up the first down across the 20. Well, maybe not now, maybe not. They're coming in. The official was at the 21, then came into about the 20 and a half, or the 19 and a half, I should say. I think they've got to measure this. They're bringing out the chains with 31 seconds to go. Jamie, what's on the line right now? Not only is a victory by the Hilltoppers, but their defense has not allowed a point up to this game in the whole in any fourth quarter this season.
I mean, that's incredible. That's incredible. This is a WRC schedule. They played Perry. They played, I mean, I don't think he has it, Matt. I don't think he has it. I don't think he has it.
He doesn't! The Hilltoppers will get the ball back with 31 seconds left to go. Madison will have 2 timeouts left. And Chardon, while they may not be able to kneel the football, they will have a chance to walk away from tonight with a 7-2 overall record, 5-1 in conference play. But there's 31 seconds left to go. A lot can happen. And now a flag comes out late. Hilltoppers hadn't even lined up, and now another flag comes out. Officials are walking a blue streak off the field. That's Aiden Thompson, the senior defensive lineman.
Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Focus. Focus.
The official is gonna it's a dead ball. It's a dead ball personal foul against Madison. Will move the ball up to the 35-yard line. The young man likely said something not nice. So Chardon in victory formation will take one knee right there as the clock runs. Tim Willis sitting with 2 timeouts left. And he looks like he will not burn them, which is surprising. You'd think maybe make Chardon take some extra snaps, but that will likely do it. So the Blue Streaks content to just let the clock run. They've conceded this one, so the Hilltoppers come away victorious. 10-3, it was a hard-fought battle. The Hilltoppers overcoming a tenacious and tough Madison defensive effort and overcoming multiple penalties on the offense. They win 10-3. With that, I believe that we're going to send it down right now to Coach Hewitt as he's going to have the team huddle up. We'll come back after that to wrap this one up.
They are all like this. Sometimes they're a little bit more high scoring. Sometimes they're like this. I mean, they're always, they're one of the best coached teams that we play. And they always give us problems. And tremendous defense tonight. Yes, sir. Way to be physical. And hey, look, we just punched our ticket. Doesn't matter whether we scored 50 or whether we scored 3. We got more than that. Well, really proud of the way you guys prepared all week. You know, we had some bumps early in the week. You guys stepped through it. That's an outstanding week of preparation. That's all it's about. Starting Monday again. It's all about the preparation. Friday takes care of itself. Very good. Hey, fellas, you got to be grateful for the pretty ones and grateful for the ugly ones. Promise me this, fellas. I told you a story about buying the gold, right? Listen, and this is on me. We got to figure out how to stop making so many mistakes. Okay? Great job tonight. Good picture, seniors. Good job.
Hey, like he always says, this is a special place. I want to thank you for making my last game career great.
Yes, sir.
20 years, I brought to call myself a hilltopper. Hold on! Thank you! I think I know this will break it down. He's need some help, though. He's need some help. Woo! It's tremendous defense. Tremendous defense. That's a really well-coached football team. That's a physical football team. Is that the most physical team we've played this year? Yes, sir. You know, they're like us. I mean, they believe in what they do. They like to smash mouth people, and that's a Chardon Madison classic football. And I'm proud of you, seniors. You walked out of here victorious. But there's a lot of improvement, right? Like, we are a self-inflicting team right now that we have to cure. I'm not going to be negative, but we got to get better, right? We got to get better. But it's a dub, and it's better to get better after dubs than it is after losses. Okay? So, guys, you realize it's week 10? Like, right now, technically, the clock strikes here. It's week 10. So, I'll let you know about tomorrow. I made a promise to you at halftime. No, I'll stick to my word, but here's the deal. Monday is like a full lift, film, game preparation. Now, here's what can't have happen. You can't use this as a way to make poor decisions. Part of the reason we have you in at 8 a.m. is because you're adolescent males and I don't trust you. Right? So, and there's some people I really don't trust. What that means is JV, right? It's business as usual. We're going to add to our record this year. We're going to take it to them there, just like freshmen did in varsity now. But I will give you details more on Monday. But you have to promise me you have too much at stake. Too much at stake. Enjoy one another. Hang out with the greatest student body in Northeast Ohio, but understand it's very fragile. You've got to clean things up. When we tell you to block low, when we tell you to take people on thick, you've got to do it. When we tell you not to jump and do all these little things, you've got to do it. Because now there's no mistakes, no margin for error. We found that out almost tonight. Okay? I've exceeded my limit of talking. Mason, you look frozen. I appreciate the fact you were short sleep. Hey, Coach Britt, you got to get in here. Come on, guys.
Welcome back, everyone, and wow, the Hilltoppers, it was a slugfest, a defensive slugfest, and they win by a 10-3 count, improved to 7-2 overall, 5-1 in conference play. The loss drops Madison 3-6 and 2-4 in conference play. The Hilltoppers, who entered tonight 6 in the computer points, stay alive, and maybe if they get some help, could host in week 11. We will certainly know more next week. With that, thank you to our executive producer, Dave Jevnikar, to our cameramen, Chris Graw and Spencer Hill, and my partner, Jamie Ward. I am Matt Jaworski. On behalf of all the rest, we'd like to wish you all the best.